Welcome back. Wisconsin's race for U.S. Senate, one of the most competitive in the country right now.
Republican Eric Hovde is hoping to unseat Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin, who is seeking a third term in office. Baldwin has led in the polling throughout the race, but Republicans believe if former President Donald Trump can win the state, that Trump has a good chance of pulling Hovde as well across the finish line.
Chief political reporter Jason Zimmerman sat down with Hovde to address a number of issues on the campaign trail as part of our Your Voice, Your Vote coverage.
No Republican has won this Senate seat since Joseph McCarthy in 1952, the longest Democratic streak of any U.S. Senate seat in the nation. Hovde is hoping to beat the odds, but to do that, he's likely going to need some help from the very top of the ticket. In the race for Wisconsin's U.S. Senate seat, Eric Hovde has been mostly playing defense, as a barrage of political attack ads have attempted to define him from the minute he announced his campaign.
CEO of a billion-dollar bank.
Including one claiming he doesn't even live here. So he asked Hovde about that. He places the blame on Senator Baldwin for misleading voters.
I live in Wisconsin. I moved back in 2011. I pay my taxes here. I live here, I vote here. As it pertains to California, I bought a business there. I've never been a resident, a legal resident of the state of California 1 year in my life. And yet she's orchestrated a whole campaign talking about me being a Californian, which is just absurd beyond absurd.
Hovde now lives in Shorewood after previously living out east, stemming from a decision his father made to work under former President Ronald Reagan. He attended public school as a kid and graduated from UW-Madison. On the issues, Hovde says inflation and the need to control spending are the big reasons he wants to go to Washington and force a change in direction.
It's very easy to tackle inflation. The bigger problem is tackling the government spending problem, because right now we're adding another $1 trillion in debt about every single 4 months, and the interest cost on our debt now is bigger than our Defense Department budget. I don't mean to scare people, but this is how great societies have always failed.
However, Democrats say corporate greed is also a factor for driving up prices, which we asked Hovde about.
If that was true, then why wasn't inflation happening before 2021?
On the issue of abortion, Hovde says he supports having the individual state decide, a stance taken by Donald Trump.
I have said before I even gotten into this race, and have repeated it in every single interview, I've had videos, I do not support a national abortion ban. I do not support a federal abortion ban. Period.
Hovde also supports resolving the issue in a way Senator Ron Johnson campaigned on 2 years ago.
The people of Wisconsin, in my view, should decide this through a referendum.
We also asked Hovde about issues involving the elderly, including the possibility of the Social Security Trust Fund running out of money within the next decade.
The first thing we're going to have to do is, for anybody that's on Social Security or getting close to retirement, you can't touch it. They depend on it. It's very important for them. So then you're going to have to look at things like people like me who've been, fortunate in life and successful. Maybe, I'll have to forego some of my Social Security so other people can have theirs. And then you're going to have to look at how to deal with the overall framework with federal spending and how to supplement Social Security there.
Other ads run by the Baldwin campaign accuse Hovde of wanting to deny people the right to vote who are elderly.
Eric Hovde thinks people like us shouldn't be able to vote.
Hovde claims that ad, too, is attempting to mislead voters by taking his words out of context.
I was asked about election integrity. In an interview, I listed 4 different issues that were concerning, and one of them was about the investigations done by a sheriff in Racine about the voter fraud that was going on in nursing homes. And I was talking about people who were at the very end of their life, who adult children were going to the sheriff of saying, somebody voted for my parent who either has dementia or is dying and is not capable of voting. So I was talking about how people at the end stage of life are being taken advantage of.
This race could also decide who controls the U.S. Senate next January, which has led to more than $100 million being spent by outside groups on behalf of Hovde and Senator Baldwin. Back to you.
Jason, thanks. And tomorrow we'll profile the incumbent in the Senate race, Tammy Baldwin.